Hey guys, welcome back to Terps Esports. My name is Hayden.
And my name is Alex, aka Gumi. And before we do anything, we're going to get right into a review from last week's game. So we're just going to show you guys the clips. We went against Arcadia, and it was a game, that's for sure. If you tuned in last week, you know that it was a 3-0, and the clips on the screen right now just kind of tell the story of what happened. And to be honest with you, I could probably describe the game in 2 words, and it's Winston dive.
Yes.
So
yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So obviously the Terps pulling out their Winston, Tony pulling out his Winston. Very, very impressive stuff coming from him. Especially against this Orisa that Arcadia was showing. Like, Arcadia had a very proficient Orisa as well as a Maga. So as we get into these clips, just watch how proficient Tony is working around this Orisa. Like, he just does not care that there's an Orisa in his face. He's going to go for your back line. And
yeah, I mean, you have to also look at Chiquizas too, because you saw him on the Tracer there just diving with him. I think they were playing a really good dive comp last week.
Yeah,
and then obviously Speed. You know,
obviously,
there's always a clip of Speed, and you know, he just makes Sojourn look super easy to play.
It wouldn't be a Terps esports stream without a Speed clip, as well as a Chiquizas clip, because I mean, look at this, a Genji. You really do not see a Genji all that often, but Chiquizas makes it work. I mean, just look at this, just going after, I mean, even the hard targets too, a Sojourn and a Tracer, not really characters that you see get dove very often because of their mobility, but Chiquizas just takes them out, headshot.
Yeah, and we do have another great clip by Tony here, just diving with that Winston and getting these picks. I mean, like,
what is there to say? I mean, it's just, he's so proficient on finding these isolated targets, and I mean, look at this. Having the presence of mind to get speared off, almost get speared off the map, and to pop your ult and to go in and just win the fight from there. Not even perturbed. This guy just looks so good on the Winston.
I think the funniest thing about that end of the clip was, I don't know if it was showed, but there's the Orisa fell off the map. I remember watching it. Yeah, I was like, I audibly laughed when I heard that. But I mean, you can't discount the support players either.
Oh, for sure.
The support players are probably like a really key part of this team, and being able to support Tony on his dives and Chiquizas as well, and giving Speed the damage boosts he needs and stuff. That's like key to how this team works.
For sure. And as we get into this game, it is important to note that this will be the semifinals for the NECC Nationals. So if we do win this game, we will be advancing to the finals, so that is really exciting. There are a lot of stakes for this game, and it's also another thing that is important to note, that this is a rematch. William and Mary, the College of William and Mary, we have played them previously. We won 3-1, but I'm sure they've got some tricks up their sleeves, and so it's very important to not discount these players.
Yeah, and on that note, this isn't just a big day for the Overwatch team either. I mean, this is also a big day for Terps Esports, because I believe this is our last stream of the semester, guys. I mean, it's kind of hard to think that. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I mean, I've enjoyed streaming, or I've enjoyed casting and observing.
Yeah.
As much as I have over the semester. So
yeah, this is something really fun that all of us love to do. And I mean, thanks to the production, the players, everyone who makes this possible. Just do a little sweep real quick. You can see the players. They know they're hyped. Oh, are they hyped? I don't know. They look pretty hyped to me.
Yeah, they're hyped. I'd say the energy in this room is really, really good.
Yeah, the energy in the studio is definitely what you want to see.
Yeah. So guys, with that said, we're gonna go ahead and head to a commercial break, and we'll catch you guys in game shortly.
I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
So last week, the Terps Overwatch Premier team took a giant bus from Maryland all the way to Ohio in order to compete at the big esports conference LAN tournament. Here, collegiate esports teams from across the country gathered to face the teams they had been playing against online for the past 2 semesters. Except this time, they'd be playing in person, seeing the faces behind the online gamer tags. What followed for the Terps Overwatch team was nothing short of magical. But first, we need to start the story at the beginning.
We're going to see echoes of Game 1 again.
Unfortunate.
The Terps were not doing very well in the BEC regular season last semester. It was fall 2023's academic year at UMD, and their win-loss record in the BEC was 2-6. But in 2024, the Terps came into the spring semester with a new coach, an updated roster, and an energy they brought into the studio that was simply unmatched. In the BEC regular season that semester, they went 6-1. That meant winning 6 best-of-5 collegiate Overwatch matches and only dropping 1 game. Basically, they came back with a vengeance. They even made it to the Nationals in the NECC Champions League, another collegiate tournament running parallel to the big esports conference. By the way, make sure to stick with this video until the end, because there's more to talk about with that NECC Nationals League. But, getting back on track, the Terps began their tournament in Ohio on Friday, and it wasn't just the players that had something to prove. Some of our Overwatch casters, Alex, aka Gumi FTW Casts, and Tomas, aka Dormant Dormat, also tagged along in order to speak as commentators on the big esports conference's broadcast that Friday and Saturday. Like the players, these two came with fantastic energy. And I can say, as their director for the Terps esports streams, I was very proud.
Going to be able to save OSU anyway.
Trip was that we got back to Maryland safely, with none of the players left behind in Ohio or a place like Breezewood on the trip back home. But the story isn't over yet for our Overwatch team. Tonight, we play against University of New Haven Chargers in the first round of the NECC
Then game. Okay. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. No time to talk. We got to jump right into things. I mean, yeah, here we go. Jumping right into the first game of these semifinals. And I believe Tony already went down. And so the first capture is going to be going over towards William and Mary. And Jaquizas actually gets found in the 1v1. Not what you want to see, especially with that Tracer. Tracer 1v1 is so important when it comes to pressure and such. And so with Jaquizas going down, it might, might make Terps have to slow down a little bit. But as I say that, they're just going to go forward. They know that the Winston doesn't have jump. He's very, very low. The cleanse comes out. They are going to
Speep able to get the kill on the Winston. That's huge.
Yeah, and even Speep did go in, and it is going to get found by the enemy Lucio, but 4v4 right now on the point with the Terps having control, and it's Pumpkin and Jaquizas together taking out the Lucio. And even though Tony will fall, I believe the stragglers are going to go down here. It's going to be a capture for the Terps, unless I spoke too soon, and there's actually going to be a copy coming out from William and Mary with that Echo, but the beat's going to come out from the Terps just to secure this fight. And, 53% and counting on the point. I think you'll take it if you're William and Mary. Use a few ults, commit a few things, but at the end of the day, you are going to lose control. And
yeah, and I mean, while they are resetting, let's talk about some recent Overwatch news. So I don't know if you guys have heard or seen, but apparently there's a really big patch that came out that heavily nerfed Orisa. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I mean, Orisa getting nerfed, it kind of changes the game a lot. Orisa's been meta, and I mean, the Terps, they popped Kiriko Rush, and Jaquizas found one. And actually, you know what? We'll talk about this later, because out comes the rush from William and Mary, which means they want to get aggressive. They're going to speed onto the point. The beat comes out from William and Mary, and Speed with his overclock, desperately looking for anything, but he's getting popped around by the Winston. And that was insane juggling coming out from William and Mary's Winston, as now it's just Tony alone on the point with the Pound Rage of his own. He is going to pop it. 5v4 right now, as of now, as Speep comes back from spawn. Moose finds Lucio in the back line, but Jaquizas falls in the meantime, and the point gets flipped. I do believe the Terps are going to have to take a bit of a retreat here. And anyway, but back to before. Oh, okay. Yeah, Speep just doing Speep things. Oh, we got a new background this time around, but yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen that one before. Last time it was the monkey in the golf cart.
Yeah.
If you don't remember that, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, the Terps are gonna have to take a little bit of a break here, just to let Tony get back. But he's already back. He's down to half health now. He's really got to reset and hit point. They have 9 or 10% left, so they really got to get on point and contest it here.
Yeah, a lot going on right now with bombs and copies and beats and oh my. And the beat is going to allow the Terps to get to the point and take out this Echo, as William and Mary, 99% on this point. I think you will take this, but I do think they are going to try to take this fight. It's definitely looking winnable for this team as the Terps bunker down on this capture point. But now, look at this. They've isolated the Lucio. They know he's alone. They've gone after him, but the boop is going to stop Tony in his tracks. And all things fall quiet now. And no, the pulse bomb!
Oh, Jaquizas gets the Kiriko!
Oh my gosh, that is not what you want to see. Max, unfortunately, running into his Kiriko with the pulse bomb stuck to his body. Absolutely brutal. Not what you want to see. And they are going to take a retreat. And as 84% ticks up on this point, William and Mary's got to find something to make this tick. Oh my gosh, Orisa.
Yeah.
I'm awake. Orisa. So Orisa was nerfed, and that's probably why we're seeing 2 Winstons right now. But it just reduces her staying power on the field for so long. And so without her able to survive, and oh no, Speep not getting any of the peel that he thought he was going to get. And that might spell doom for the Terps, as Speep just gets taken out, and there's really nothing the rest of these players can do as they're burned down one by one. And they do have 2 ults still on the field, but the point already flipped. And that's first round going over to William and Mary.
Yeah, I mean, they had, I think, 2 ults already ready just to contest point, and they were able to get there with just enough time and kind of like push and force the Terps off point. And I mean, the other Winston kind of shoved Tony off the map completely.
Yeah. Getting bullied by a Winston in Primal Rage never feels good, especially, I mean, even if you're another Winston, like, it's just so obnoxious. And something that we do not talk enough about in this game is displacement. Being displaced in this game is so off-putting. It messes up your aim, it messes up your positioning. We don't talk about it enough. So abilities like Lucio Boop, Winston Primal Rage, Arista Spear in some cases. Displacement is just so important. And as we go into the second point, we see a Maga and a Symmetra. Not stuff you see every day. And, you know, I'm really interested to see how this is going to work out because the Terps are running a Winston. Winston is so hard to play against a Maga. He's so safe. You can't even look at him funny or else he just absolutely melts your health bar. And as the shout comes out, William Mary just decides to push forward, and in goes Tony looking for the pick on the Sojourner. He will find it, but the pressure from the Maga is going to force him to back off. But look at this, the Sim dropping so low. And even though the Terps are in an unfavorable matchup, the first point control is going to go over to them.
And Pumpkin doing his work as a support. Three limbs there for him on a Lucio. And this is something interesting we don't really see much, or at least I don't see, is Speep on the Tracer. Typically we see Jaquizas on the Tracer, but both of them decided to switch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, usually Jaquizas on that Tracer, he's so proficient at it, but don't count Speep out because he's about to pick onto Rivals Cassidy. And even though William Mary on the point, how does it really matter when your team is dying behind you? Cleanses are coming out left and right. Pulse Bomb comes out, is going to hit the Maga for full damage, but Jaquizas goes down. They're trying to pierce down this Maga, but there's so much healing coming out from the Kiriko on the side of William and Mary, and he finally does fall. And the pressure from Speep's Tracer onto these supports is going to be enough to corner them here. And the Terps stand strong.
But the point did flip though, so now it's in the hands of William and Mary.
Not for long, as the Terps come back. And the point does get flipped, which, you know, it does steal away a couple of percentage points.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is going to be Terps dominating this second round.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about that, the Malgo. I mean, the Terps threw everything at it. They threw, like,
oh my.
Literally everything.
Everything and the kitchen sink, plus another Maga. Yeah. Just, I mean, yeah. And even though that stuff does get burst, the wall is going to come out, and it really is not enough to protect Rivals Cassidy from Tony. And here he comes with the Primal Rage, taking out the Kiriko. And I mean, we talk about this guy's Winston. We talked about it in the pre-show, and he's bonkers on this Winston. It's crazy to see.
Yeah, and I from my memory, I believe William and Mary really liked running the Orisa, so I guess the Winston is something new for them to adapt. But the thing is, Tony's already extremely comfortable on the Winston, so he has the upper hand here.
Oh, the teleport. This is something unorthodox we don't usually see. William and Mary just completely bypassing the offensive setup that the Terps had, and Tony will fall before the beat even comes out. Beat's getting traded back and forth, and Jaquizas falls, and I think this is going to be it for the Terps, and it's going to be back to the drawing board. But 99% to practically 0. It's just time to bank up ults.
Yeah, I think at this point you really want to farm ults. I mean, Jaquizas is almost towards his copy, and then but the others are still pretty far away from their ults, so they do have a little bit of time to work here and just farm for damage.
Yeah, and that's not to say that William Mary does not have a few ults of their own. That cage fight from the Maga going to be super impactful here. That ult is just so, I don't want to say it's broken, but it's a bit crazy. It's a bit nuts, if you will.
It is very annoying, especially if you're a Winston and you're taking a lot of damage.
Oh, but who needs a cage fight if you're not even fighting near the Maga? And in comes Tony and Speed and takes out Rival immediately. And I do believe the cage fight actually found nobody as Jaquizas goes in with his own cage fight. Magaception right now. And Kiriko's gonna fall and spell doom for this William and Mary roster, as now it's up to the Lucio to just stall the point out, wait for his team to come back, and he'll do a pretty good job. But the overtime wick is now ticking down, and in comes Rivals Cassidy, but Jaquizas shuts him down. And that's the second round going over to the Terps.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta really talk about Echo here. Echo is probably one of my most favorite characters in the Overwatch roster, but her beam is so effective at just locking down those kills. And I mean, you saw how much damage Jaquizas was doing to the Malga, like exactly right here.
That's crazy.
half of his health bar basically melted.
Even through the damage resist that Maga E gives.
Yes.
Absolutely melted. And
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Echo is a great adaptation here. Because Echo, I mean, she is that tank counter. She is that burst character that Maga really doesn't like. Because Maga is all about staying alive, healing, just living, really, existing on the point and outputting so much damage. And the Terps really did well, juggling aggro on that Maga, just making sure that Tony stays alive and healthy in the fight. And like clockwork.
Yeah, I totally agree. And another thing is, like, he just doesn't have a shield or anything. He does have a healing ability and a damage reduction, but, like, especially for that Echo, you have no shield blocking, so you can just keep throwing a bunch of damage straight onto the Malga.
Yeah, and I mean, Speep getting found first, but looks like Nuklama on the Lucio might be getting a little bit might be overestimating his abilities just a little bit, as now Tony goes into the backline but gets absolutely shredded. But I believe that was the Cassidy's fan the hammer. And wow, the Cassidy finding 2 there in that backline. But it's still a 3v3. It is still winnable for the Terps squad, as the first point capture still has not gone over to anybody. And as Moose falls and Tony comes back, this is going to be a fight for the ages. And I think the Terps smartly just decide to give it up, wait for their team. But first control will go over to William and Mary.
Yeah, like you said, it's probably a really good idea just to back up and play a little bit passive and then retake the point, because they've lost all their support players, and Jaquizis takes down the enemy Tracer.
And that's going to be huge for this fight, because now no backline pressure, which means nobody is going to be dying while Tony is off on this dive. And look, that's all the pressure that they need to take control of this point. And now that the point is flipped over, they can take more aggressive positions on this offense. Looking at the ult banks here. Okay, we don't even get time to look at the ult banks. Jaquizis just says, screw it, we are fighting. And Tony jumps forward with his Winston brethren, and Nuklama is going to pop the the Lucio beat to sustain this fight for his team. And the beat comes out from Pumpkin. Will be finding 3 members on the side of Terps, but Speep is done in this fight. And even though Tony has the Primal Rage, will it be enough? It might just be. Oh my gosh, it might just be enough. And the Terps sustain through that chaotic, messy fight. That's gotta feel good for morale.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, being able to just hold your ground in that, even though it was so chaotic, they just kept their composure and were able to focus on whatever they needed to and target whatever character they needed to at that moment. And Tony's ult was just really good. Like we talked about earlier, a little bit ago, just displacement. It was also causing a lot of chaos for William and Mary, just displacing them everywhere and throwing the Winston left and right.
Yeah, and here comes the counter dive coming out from William and Mary. The Winston has been popped just to push them off this point, and Tony, he decides, I don't want to give it up just yet. He goes back in, but the Winston, oh, dropping so low, and Echo's beam will not be doing enough damage. And look at all of the damage coming in on Tony. He is going to fall. And oh, Speed looking for the 1v1 on this Cassidy, but I do not believe that it's going to be enough to win this fight. And 37% on William and Mary's side to 68% on the Terps. It's looking like a pretty even game so far.
Yeah, I mean, this is anybody's game right now. Game to take first round. I believe this is a best of 5 tonight, right?
Best of 5 tonight. Yep. Best of 3 on this King of Hill game mode. It's honestly, this is a game mode that we see the Terps be a little bit iffy on. So I think it might take a little bit to find the victory. And as Pumpkin falls and Jaquizis trades out the Tracer, the Terps are going to have to pull out an absolute miracle here as Tony pops the Primal Rage and the Kiriko Rush and the beat come out from William and Mary. Both support ults being forced here. But look at all the pressure. Oh my gosh, when the Cassidy popping the ult but getting no support because of all of the pressure onto his face.
And the Terps are able to take the point here.
Oh, this is dangerous for the Terps. They lost Moose. They do not have the kind of sustain to sustain this fight, but Pumpkin finds the Winston. Was that a boop? I can't be sure, but the beat comes up from Pumpkin, and Pumpkin, being the only support to survive and to sustain his team. Absolutely perfect gameplay coming out from him. And 90% in counting on this point. William and Mary has got to wish for a miracle at this point.
Yeah, I mean, all Terps has to do is just keep them off point and kind of put a big wall just so they don't touch it at all.
Oh my gosh, all of the damage.
And Tony does take out the Winston.
So much damage and so much pressure coming out onto that Winston without support from the rest of his team. And it looks like simple cleanup for the Terps at this point as they stomp forward, taking out the remaining members of William and Mary. And I think that will be the first map of this series going over to the Terps.
Yeah, it was just life after life after life in that last little bit of the round. I mean, Terps were able to just pinpoint exactly who they needed gone, and the Winston was the first to go. So that was a very big factor in being able to just push William and Mary off of this site and keep them away.
Yeah, this Primal Rage from Tony just... I mean, look at this. He knows that he can get out. And, oh, is that a boop on the Winston? Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, wow. That is not something you see every day, especially the sniper jetpack monkey falling off a map and not having jump. But it just goes to show, I mean, presence of mind, right? Knowing cooldowns, knowing if he is chasing you, you have the ability to just boop him off. And, I mean, Pumpkin does it all the time. He jumps in and boops the Winston out of the bubble.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was really good. I mean, that comp that they just played was all about displacement. And like you said, displacement's probably key and
for sure
in some of these rounds. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and cut to a commercial break, and we'll see you guys back for round 2.
Hello everyone, welcome back from our little break. We are going to Circuit Royale, so very fun stuff coming out there. We're probably going to see more of the same, you know, more of what we see almost every game. But yeah, I mean, Circuit Royale, one of those maps, one of the newer maps in Overwatch 2. I mean, we've kind of figured out what to play on it, but it's going to be up to William and Mary to figure out what to do against this Terps squad. I mean, do you remember if they played Circuit Royale the first time around? I think they did.
I think so. I just know it's one of their it's one of the Terps' more popular
I'm
maps.
trying to remember because I feel like if you lost on Circuit Royale, you wouldn't take the Terps back to it. But that's just me. Maybe William and Mary's got something up their sleeves. Okay, look, maybe they're cooking in the kitchen, burning down dorms and stuff. So as we go into this map, it's going to be really important to keep an eye on that Widow matchup, that Widow 1v1, as well as the Sigma and the Zenyatta interactions. If we do see those characters, I do believe those are the most important things that we are going to see. Probably have the most impact on this match. I mean, it's just so important to have the Discord and then the Sigma focusing the Discord at target, as well as the Hanzo and the Widow. And yeah, that's just kind of how victory is.
Yeah, I mean, you really got to watch Speep here because, I mean, this is like a perfect map for Widow. And, I mean, last time you and I casted together, they were really big with the, oh, what's her name? Why am I blanking on it?
Widowmaker... Symmetra, yes.
I don't know why I was blanking on that, but we are already getting into the match here. The Terps able to get a little bit of ground, and Speep already coming out hot with a headshot on the enemy Hanzo.
That is not what you want to see, but then again, you do have to bring this man some respect. It is Speep we're talking about on that Widowmaker. And Rival going to be looking to take this Widow 1v1. And we definitely saw glimpses from Rival in the last map. He definitely has what it takes to take on Speep in this Widow 1v1. But it really is all just up to... yeah, there it is. Speep finding the pick on the Widow.
Oh, I thought he got another one, but he does tag the Bastion. Or, sorry, not Bastion. Why am I? Oh
Bastion.
My lord.
Yo,
Baptiste.
Is that robot racism? Yo, wait. Whoa.
Hey, man, I've had a long day. I've had a long day. Those lab exams, I tell you, are not...
Oh, dang.
Not really good for the mental, but...
It is that time of year, after all. Final season coming up.
Yeah.
You guys are lucky that we're here right now. We could be studying. Actually, I think I'd rather be here than studying. But that's besides the point, and I think I'd rather be watching Speep's Widow than studying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so far, he's really popped out with... He's really come out with this Widow, and he's set to get another kill. He's like, he has the right angle for it.
Oh my gosh. But do not count William and Mary out, because as the window comes out, the Hanzo finding at least 3 kills in that last fight. That is...
Yeah, that was crazy. Whoa.
The spray transfer.
And there's the 4th. On Speep, too.
Wait, but Moose is stuck. He's behind those walls in the back right there. If William Mary doesn't notice him, that's going to be huge. But if he gets staggered, it would also be huge just in, the other direction. But I do think he's going to be able to survive. And that's good for now. Because now the Terps come back with their bank of ults. And Speep playing this so carefully. He can see the Widow. Oh, they're looking for the Sigma. And even though they do find 3 members in the Gravitic Flux, Rival and the Hanzo on William and Mary are going to take out the Terps squad. But do not say never, because the Terps are coming back. They found a pick onto the Zenyatta, and here goes Speep with a jumping shot. Not going to find anything. But the Terps push forward here. The pressure is now on William and Mary to make something happen, to make it so that they can re-win this fight. And sights come out from both teams. You can see the Widows looking at each other through the wall, and that is a shot of a... That's the shot. That is a shot. Let's just put it that way.
Really crazy from the Hanzo.
Yeah, the Terps need to deal with this Hanzo. He is putting so much pressure onto not only Speed, but the Terps squad in general. And there's Tony, finding the opening pick onto that Widow. A lot of pressure gone now, and all they have to do is walk forward here, but not get sniped by this Hanzo, is putting so much pressure. And as the window comes out, Terps are going to have to rethink their plan as they walk forward, and Speep gets traded out for the Zenyatta. And I think the Zenyatta pick is something you will take, because now Tony can walk forward with impunity and take out the rest of William Mary. Second point, 4 minutes into the map. It's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, so far they just have to find an answer for this Hanzo, especially Speep too. I mean, he's been consistently getting taken out by the Hanzo, but he's also been taken out. He's getting his money's worth out of his own life.
Yeah, that's really all life is, isn't it? Getting your money's worth out of your life. That sounds really depressing, but like that's not what I meant. It's all about getting value in this game, right? It's all about doing things. It doesn't matter if you die. Oh, Speed, stop playing with him, Riot. Speed posting a little bit cocky here as the rest of the squad goes to the left and looks for the supports on the high ground. And Tony can use their Gravitic Flux but not find anything. And C3, oh, it's dropping so low, but look at the pressure.
Very dangerous.
Onto the Sigma.
But they're already so far up with 3 minutes left.
Oh my gosh. And the Sigma just melts before my very eyes. And now all the space is over to the Terps, and it's all up to them to push forward on this last part of the map. And this last part of the map is so hard to push, right? But we see Rival finding Jakizis. This is a very back and forth, and it's looking dangerous for William and Mary as the Transcendence and the Window come out. Look at all of the damage onto, oh my gosh, onto the Sigma, and see through the window, finds his 1, finds his 2. And even though the rest of William and Mary are back on that cart, it's going to be a cap with 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
Wow.
Oh my. That was just a snowball that never really stopped.
No, I totally agree. And once that Sigma died, I mean, that was like, you know, their entire team was staggered. And they just had to deal with the Widow and Baptiste up in the top, and that's game.
It feels like there's 2 different games going on, if you will. There's a game going on top left with the Widow and the Baptiste and the, or not the Baptiste, sorry, the Widow and the Zen and like maybe the Hanzo. And then there's another fight going on at below with the Zenyatta and the Sigma. And Terps just happened to win the fight on both fronts.
Yeah. We did have some really good free cam action. Shout out to whoever did that.
Yeah, shout out to whoever did that. Who did that?
Don't know.
You don't know?
Nope.
You don't know?
Nope.
He did it.
Yeah,
that was it. That's why he's pointing it out.
Yes.
But yeah,
yeah,
just amazing stuff coming out from everyone here.
And yet, you sound just like he did.
Time for defense. I don't really know what else to say.
Yeah,
it's pretty cut and dry.
William and Mary has a really long way for them to go in order to catch up with the Terps here. They really have to push aggressive and be like almost perfect with their utility and combos just to get even close to what the Terps accomplished last round.
It's definitely doable, and we see that happen all the time, don't we? The Hanzo Sonic arrow into the headshot from Speep. We see that all too often, and poor Rival. I think that happened to him on last game too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be getting my games mixed up, but it never feels good, and Speep on this Widow just showing why he is the way that he is. I mean, absolutely. Okay, I take it back. Rival, talk your trash, man. Talk your trash. Rival finding the pick onto Speed is going to signal a pretty hasty retreat from the Terps,
yeah,
and that Discord orb.
Terps have to be really careful here too. I mean, they don't have Speed, so they actually should have Speed by now.
They should have Speed. Oh. Did you see that damage?
Yes.
That is why Zen is so important in these comps. 1 headshot, 1 kill, quite literally an Rival. Oh my gosh. Through the hole in the wall. What a shot.
I mean, that's a typical place for a Widow to peek from up top, but never to get killed by a Widow from down below.
I'd be angry because I would be like, how is my head hitbox even shooting? But Rival just is a wizard, so, you know, the magical things are happening right now. And as we go into this second point, I know I say this every single time we play Circuit. This second point is probably one of the hardest ones to push if you are stalled on this hill. There's so much high ground. There's so much space to take, so much space to lose. But William and Mary, they don't care about space. They're just going to kill everyone as both supports drop from the side of the Terps. And now, Terps just kind of have to take a regroup, take a deep breath and realize that what they're doing now isn't working.
And Tony's in a lot of trouble here. He does have his team starting to back him up now.
But at the loss of the lamp. And as the dragon comes out, it's going to be time for a touch, and Tony just absolutely melts. And Jaquez is going to have to swap onto this Sombra just to look for a touch. And William and Mary, oh my lord, they are showing absolute domination on this map at the moment.
I mean, we've seen the Terps really thrive, especially in this one little area, so they're not done yet. Even though there's 5 minutes left on the clock, they still have a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, for sure. 5 minutes, though. Well, you got to admit, that is an intimidating time bank, to say the least. And as the sights come out from both the Widows, just the poke battle back and forth, each team just looking for anyone to make a misstep, anyone to just make a mistake. And Widow punishes mistakes. And as both sites just sort of fizzle out, we see a bit of a neutral matchup, and here comes the window, but here comes the Flux, finding all 5 members, but Speep, mid-air, finding the pick onto the enemy Widow. Oh my gosh, what a shot. I wish I could have seen it, but that might just be it for this fight. I take it back. Nuke Llama going to be popping this window, and it's going to take out Moose, perhaps overstepping just a little bit. And now it's William and Mary on the offensive as the Terps are pushed back. So back and forth, and William and Mary really putting in the work right now. So impressive coming out from them. And Speep with the shot. Just kind of stops all that momentum in its tracks.
Yeah, and that kill on the Hanzo is super big because Hanzo so far has been such a problem for the Terps. So Speep being able to shut him down gives the Terps a lot of momentum here, and they're able to push back.
Something I find so interesting right now about this play, Speep is refusing to play on this high ground. He kind of knows. Okay, at least this is what I think. Okay, as I said, he goes to the high ground, but he's not playing at the front high ground. He's playing in the back high ground. He's playing very, very safe. He knows that both DPS are looking for him, and he knows that he can win the pressure battle, make them walk into himself, and down goes the Baptiste, and that's going to spell doom for this fight. And even though William and Mary did have to use the Transcendence against Tony's Flux, it's going to be back to the drawing board as the clock ticks down to about 3.5 minutes. What a showing we are seeing right now from both teams.
Yeah, I mean, all the Terps have to do here is just keep this a long-range game because they both have 2 really good players, Jaquez and Speep, being able to support them from up top and behind.
And look at this, we are going to see a bit of a flank coming out from the Zenyatta and the Hanzo. I don't know if they've clocked this flank from the Hanzo, but they did find the Zenyatta, and that's going to end the flank, splitting up the team like the Terps did before them. And it is not going to come to fruition as it's, once again, back to that drawing board.
And might I mention, I think the Hanzo jumped off the map. Just to reset with his team.
Yeah, avoiding staggers. You know, there are so many things that factor into this game. So many, like, it's mechanics, it's game sense. And staggering is something that nobody wants to do because staggering just takes the time off of the clock. It makes it bleed away. It makes overtime come way too soon. And so for William and Mary's Hanzo to just jump off the map, yeah, he knows that's it. Like, he knows he just has to do that. And so it's really an amazing heads-up play. And we're going to see this flank once again. Now the Hanzo on the high ground just relatively unbothered as the sights come out and Speep finds the Widow. Going to look for this 1v1. Oh, going to get hit by the Hanzo, but the peaks. Oh,
and Speep is able to take him down. That was a crazy play. And a third one.
Oh my
gosh.
This guy.
Speep
Never fails to disappoint.
He took down the Widow. Had a little bit of a battle with the Hanzo there. Able to take him down too. Then immediately turns around.
Oh my gosh.
Snipes the Zen. Wow.
On 3 HP, by the way, we should mention. That was a crazy close fight.
And that might be what the Terps need just to give them the advantage in terms of time.
Yeah, 1 minute left on this clock with William and Mary having a few ults to show for it, but the Terps also have those ults, and look at this. They've realized they need to take away the pressure from Speep, and here comes the peak from Jaquizis looking to fight with his DPS brethren, and as the lamp comes out, the Terps realize that that's all the pressure they need. The Widow did fall in the front, and they're just going to get up the high ground, choosing to fight on this low ground instead. And Tony realizes he can just bunker in the room on the right. And he's going to take this fight, and the rock is perfect. Both Sigmas finding rocks on each other, and ooh, look at this. Oh my gosh. The DPS 2v2 is kind of crazy right now. It's going a little bit crazy. As the plugs come out, it's not going to find anything. But on the backside, the Hanzos trade out. And the window. Oh, there's so much going on right now. But the Terps fighting a battle on both fronts right now, just looking for this Sigma. He's dropping so low, and C3 is in panic mode, trying to survive, but Jaquizis is back on the Genji. Overtime.
And Jaquizis already comes out with 2, I think 3 maybe.
Oh my gosh, is that going to be it?
That is it.
That feels so anticlimactic to what that game was.
I mean, okay, but look at the last little play. Jaquizis came out. He switched to the Genji, and he wiped half the team.
Yeah, Genji just, especially against those prone targets like the Hanzo and the Zenyatta, and you know C3. I mean, just look at this.
He deserves play of the game. I mean, that was a very good
perfect.
Just keeping composure right there, and yeah.
We don't talk about those support players enough, but I think C3, one of those players for sure. I remember talking to him, and he said that he knows that he's a good player. He knows that he's all about that aim, all about the game sense. It's like that kind of flex player. So we do find Moose in most of the time. But C3 can definitely bring the heat when he's here.
And like you're talking about game sense, I was constantly seeing him ping up top because he knew the Hanzo was going to come up there, and like every time he pinged, he was up there, and then you had Jaquizis or Speep come like just trying to fight that Hanzo, and most of the time they're able to take it.
Yeah, exactly. So. I mean, the presence of one support can turn the fight easy, and C3 just kind of shows that. And as we go 2-0 into the series, we're gonna go into Flashpoint next. So yeah, so we will cut to a break, and we're gonna see you guys after that.
Terp Adventures take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform, find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the center for campus life, where Terp Adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Your ad tech stack is simple, streamlined, and easy to manage, right? Yeah, right. If you're in ad tech, then you know you have a problem. Ad tech is messy, and your tech stack includes way too many tools to effectively manage. At Playwire, we're here to uncomplicate your ad tech stack. We've consolidated the entire publisher ad tech stack into a single platform and added in proprietary technology and advanced tools to generate you even higher CPMs. Get access to an ad tech stack that is simpler and smarter.
Hey guys, welcome back, and we're heading into the hopefully the last round of tonight. This is match point for the Terps, and they are on New Junk City, not a map we see often.
Yeah, that New Junk City, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I actually haven't seen this comp very often. I mean, look at this. We're seeing, William & Mary's signature Symmetra, obviously, but the Terps on this Sigma Brawl. I do believe I heard that the rumors, the tremors in the earth in the Overwatch team voice text chat where they were discussing this comp and speed. It's not looking like it's working so far, as you know, the Terps are gonna fall, and it's back to the drawing board. And I think Maga is just really just able to walk all over Sigma.
The Terps are going to be a little bit staggered here with speed coming in a minute. So they just have to kind of regroup and rethink here. But this Malga is going to be a really big problem for the Terps, because I mean, he's just really good on this map. It's a really good close range map.
It's so interesting though, Maga versus a Sigma. I feel like these are tanks that we've never really see collide in this game, and it's quite funny actually to see it. And Tony trying to weather the storm as the players of William & Mary walk forward with the Kiriko ult, and they are going to be able to find the Symmetra in the middle of that fight, but two of their members will fall, and perhaps it's time to back up a bit and just take this next fight. But as 74% ticks up on the point, somebody is going to have to touch, and that somebody looks like it's going to be Jaquizis on that Tracer.
Yeah, or they might just regroup and head to next point. I think it's maybe
toss-up.
Maybe not.
I think Jaquizis is going to go for the touch, and Jaquizis does not get it. So there really is no point of fighting here. And now it's retreat time, and Tony getting stopped in the middle of his grasp. How unfortunate. And I think some swaps may need to be looked. I think it might do some good to get some swaps here.
Yeah, the Terps aren't really looking that together right now. I mean, Tony's trying to do everything he can as Sigma, but I think they're just all playing just differently. It's not really something or New Gen City's not really something they play a lot, so.
Yeah, it's strats, right? And oh, the pulse bomb almost sticks the Symmetra, but no dice. And that is going to start the fight on this second point as the window comes out, forcing every member of Luminary to drop to the point as the Symmetra gets found. And now the Flux comes out, and the beat! Oh, the beat from Nuke Llama gets Ajaxed. Oh no, not what you want to see. That is not fun to get canceled in the middle of your beat cast.
Yeah, that was
ambitious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, as a Lucio player, doing that is by far the worst feeling in the world. It feels awful. It feels like the worst thing on earth. But William and Mary will be able to rally this, I believe. They are just going to TP straight onto the point, forcing Terps to drop to their position, forcing them to come fight them in close range, which is not what the Terps want to do with this Sigma. And I believe the Terps are just going to choose to kite this wall, but Moose getting booped into the middle of the awkward dance circle, and the beat from Pumpkin will save him though. And the overclock from Steve is going to come out, not find anything as they rotate to this high ground. Same thing with the cage fight, and we're seeing this like awkward neutral fight, but the Symmetra gets isolated and taken out. And as the Kiriko rush comes out, it's looking like a Terps victory, but Jaquizis is going to fall. All of the healing coming out from... Oh my gosh, there's so much going on in this fight, but the rival on that Search and Press gets a little bit brave. Goes to the top looking for Moose's Baptiste, and is not going to find him. 3v4 as the Symmetra comes back from spawn. And look at this. So much damage coming out onto that Maga, but he is just living. I am out here living though. But as I say that,
does get two with his
Ooh, the pulse bomb is so spicy.
That has got to be play of the game right there. Jaquizis showing us what he could do on that Tracer.
That was absolutely spicy coming out from Jaquizis with that 4K in that fight. And finally, something decisive happens in that fight, and the point control does finally go over to the Terps.
Yeah, so this is going to be a really, really close match. This point is anybody's point now. I believe by the time William and Mary gets back on, it's going to be overtime.
Here they come from an alternate angle, but still sticking to their guns, knowing that they need to play the point, force the Terps to drop, and play the close range game that they want to play. And as the Sim TP comes out, they're looking for a target. Here comes the window, looking for anybody to melt. The Flux will come out, is going to whiff. Not finds anybody, in the point is going to flip over to William and Mary. It's time. It's desperation time for the Terps. And William and Mary as speed pumps overclock, takes out one, looking for any other people that he can find in, looking for the Lucio, finds the Lucio. 3v5 for William and Mary as the wall comes out, but it's a little bit too late as the Terps just clean up the stragglers. And that's the second point going over to the Terps. An even game we are seeing from both of these teams.
Yeah, it was a very, very chaotic match, but little engagement there. But I mean, as we've seen in the past, and we just saw, the Terps are able to just keep their composure and kind of isolate who they want to go for.
You would think that the Maga comp excels in the long range, or not the long range, the long-term fight. Just being able to sustain so much with Maga, with Kiriko. But alas, I do believe it is the Terps who are, I don't know what they're doing, but they're casting spells, and they're doing things that make the long-range fights in their favor. And so, as we go on to this third point, with the point flipping over to William and Mary already, and the ult coming out from William and Mary, it might spell doom for the Terps, as Tony just kind of gets run over by a car, and it's going to signal a retreat for the Terps. And yeah, I think this Sigma, it's working, but it's also not working. So it's very interesting. into this Maga. I wish I knew the logic behind it. I'm probably gonna ask Tony after the game. But here we go. We're flipping the map a little bit, actually. The Terps here, walking forward, and Speep looking like he's alone here. Just kidding. He's literally with the rest of his team. I don't know what I'm talking about. And as the window comes out from the Terps, all of the pressure is going to go straight on to William and Mary. And as the Symmetra falls, 80% on this point, it's going to be up to the 4 remaining members of this team to find something. But alas, too much damage coming out from the Terps squad. And losing out on all the damage from Symmetra just proves to be too much. And the point finally flips. Again.
Yeah, it was very close. I mean, William and Mary is already at 98%, so Terps are going to have to defend this once or twice. Or maybe even just once and hope for the best.
Yeah, these fights have gone on for so long. Just so much sustain from both of these teams. And it's honestly really well played from both of these teams to have the ability to keep their teammates alive for this long. And here comes the beat from Pumpkin, is going to be able to save Tony in the short term, but he's going to fall in the cage fight. And now it's Speep with the overclock, looking to change fate. Finds one as Jaquizas finds Rival on the back, and he finds two. The wall is going to come out, but once again, it's a little too late. And that's going to be it for William and Mary. But they might have a touch if the Lucy's able to get back quick enough. And as you see in this replay, I mean, Speep just changing the course of this fight as Tony falls first. But all of the resources used by William and Mary to kill that Sigma just kind of, they petered out towards the end.
Yeah, they weren't really accounting for Speep there. I mean, the first kill that Speep got was on the Kiriko, and the Terps are able to secure the point there, making it 2-1 in this game. They just need one more point to win the series tonight.
Yeah, one more point, and the Terps advance onto the finals. I really want to accentuate that. That is the stakes here. This is finals-bound Terps versus a broken ult economy. So definitely been looking for some plays, and unfortunately XZD on that Kiriko is gonna fall even with the Kiriko rush in hand, and Speep finds Nuke Llama as well. No supports left for this William and Mary squad, and even though Tony and Moose are going to fall, I do believe the Terps are gonna have the damage to take out the lone Maga. And finally, we're seeing Terps with the first point flip on New Junk City.
Yeah, I mean, even though the tank goes down, even though Tony goes down, it's not a really big problem for the Terps as long as you have even lives, because you're able to dish out so much damage from that Tracer in close range, in combination with Speed and Pumpkin on that Lucio.
36% and counting, but we know the flashpoint ticks up extremely quickly. And as William Mary pops the Kiriko rush, it is go time, if you will. Yes, that's a Sojourn ult voice line, but it is also go time as William Mary just filter into the meat grinder that is the Terps through that window. And that's going to be another one fight for the Terps. And last fight territory, 70% and counting. Ults
This is looking very... The Terps got to be happy. I mean, William and Mary has to get a touch here, or else they're done for. That's it.
This is NECC lives on the line for William and Mary. So important that they win this fight, and out comes the TP and the Flux and the Overclock. Everyone press Q at once, and down goes Rival Sojourn, and the beat comes out to sustain this fight from Nuke Llama, but Speed with the Overclock looking for anything. It's a 4v4 right now as of now, but the Symmetra finding a way into the grave through that teleporter. It's time for the Terps. 3v4 here, but the Maga on this point just having so much staying power.
Speed takes down the Maga.
And another one. Oh my god! Wow! Crazy, and Speed taking his victory lap perhaps a little bit early, and that is the semifinals going over to the Terps.
What a way to end the series. A 4K from Speed.
Oh my god.
That's going in the highlight reel for sure.
Nice voice line. Nice voice line. And Speed just absolutely crazy. How is that? Okay. Look, This play was pretty cool too, but that last play just absolutely won the Terps this series. I mean, just being behind in the fight, having Speed pop that overclock, gave them the edge in the fight, and all the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I was
not expecting that, I'm not gonna lie. Sorry guys.
I mean Tony was out trying to get back, but I mean, like I said, just because Tony's out doesn't mean the Terps are down for. I mean, yeah, they had to fall back a couple times, but no, they had room to work with. They were really defending the site with their life.
I mean, usually rule of thumb, at least in my experience for Overwatch, is you lose your tank, you lose the fight, but apparently the opposite is going to happen here for the Terps, as is able to pew pew pew. I mean, you saw Speed at the end, just
yeah,
absolutely huge.
Even got up to just to showcase, like, I mean, he got up out of his chair just doing the thing. That was
like a pump shotgun from Fortnite. So much damage, and I mean, this is what everything has come towards. I mean, the Terps advancing to the finals, undefeated in NECC regular season, undefeated, did not lose a single map, and going through the qualifying bracket, losing only 2 maps out of 9, 12 maps maybe. Well, okay, that's obviously not right, but I can't do math, I'm sorry. But
it's been a long
that's
week
crazy.
And it's only Tuesday.
It's been a very long Tuesday. But that's crazy. Just,
yeah, no, that is.
Just
and
wild.
I mean, now they're off to the championships, and I believe that the actual NECC, I think they're gonna broadcast it.
Yes.
So
this is the last you're seeing from us, but don't look away, because we do have a bit of a post-game interview coming in just this quick second. We are going to go transfer over to that, but stay tuned. We will see you guys in just a few seconds. Welcome back, everyone. We are here with the post-game interview, 3-0 Terps versus William & Mary, the rematch, the run back. And I am joined here with Moose, who has been on that Kiriko, on that Zenyatta, just absolutely destroying out there. I mean, first of all, congratulations. You guys are going to the finals. I mean,
yes, sir.
Very, very fun, very good. 2 finals in one semester, if you will. So, starting off this interview, what does this mean for you as a player, for you as a student player, you as just a player for Overwatch in general? Like, what does this mean to you going to the finals for NECC?
I mean, it means a lot. Like, you said this is our second finals. BEC was huge. I would arguably say this one's bigger. I mean, we're playing against a lot of good teams, a lot better teams than we've seen all season. I mean, this is it. Like, this is a big competition. I mean, we're ready to fight for it. We've been working towards it. It's been our goal the whole time. We won regionals. All right, regionals is done. Now it's time for nationals, grand finals, baby.
For sure. And I mean, you guys look so dominant. And I mean, we have to keep talking about this, guys. 21-0 maps, 7-0 in the regular season, undefeated. What do you, in your opinion, what is the biggest factor that went into that undefeated season?
I mean, I'd say it's just about keeping our heads cool. Like, I'd say it didn't even hit us till like 4-0. Like, wait a second, we're 4-0. We haven't lost a map. Like, we can do something insane here. We can just win every single map this season. We knew we were good enough to win, But it was like, you know, it just kind of happened, and we were like, all right, let's run with it. This is our new goal. We don't want to lose at all. And I mean, we just kind of locked in. We were like, this is our main tournament this year. This is what we're focused on. At BEC's over, this is it. And we just locked in, and we're like, we're winning everything.
Right. And I know that we have a new coach with us this semester, Coach Metal. Shout out to Coach Metal. If I know Coach Metal gives a lot of advice. That's one thing he's really good at. If you could take one piece of advice from Coach Metal and share it with our audience, what do you think it would be?
Oh, first of all, we can't sing praises enough for Coach Metal, everything he's done for us. I mean, big catalyst to this entire thing. It's a lot bigger than the guys playing the game on the screen. But if I could take one thing, it's just about remaining calm and just being a good teammate. Because if something goes wrong, you have a bad teammate, you start getting toxic. That's something that we have avoided, I would say, this entire semester. We lose a map, okay, we're not tilted at each other.
Right.
It's be a good teammate, look at yourself, see what you can do better, and just be a good person. It extends outside of Overwatch, but that's like a big thing you don't see these other Overwatch coaches doing.
That is true. I know Coach Metal really puts a lot of emphasis on that team play, and you know, obviously, I mean, look at the damage. It's absolutely crazy. So I mean, big shout out to Coach Metal. There was a post that I'm actually going to retweet on the Terps esports account. Go vote for him for Coach of the Year. Those results will be coming out at the CECC bracket that is going to happen on Thursday. So go get your votes in before that happens. Coach Metal, Coach of the Year, go do that. And just to wrap this whole thing up, is there anything else you'd like to say? Any people you want to thank? I don't know. Just what do you want to say?
Roll Terps, undefeated, baby.
Roll Terps, woo! All right, well, that is going to be it for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Gumi, aka Alex, whatever the heck you want to call me, my friend Marvel, aka Hayden, and this has been Moose and the Overwatch Premier Team. This is our last stream, so we will see you guys next semester, and don't forget to tune into NECC for the finals. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.